It's okay. Mr. McGee, briefly.
I'm glad you point out the football stadium. I have the privilege of being one of the coaches there, so I see it every Friday night.
Yep.
It is a great experience to be on that field and to look at those boys working as hard as they are, and to see the crowd behind there. And it's because of that the school district has had a very clear vision of where it wants to go. It's very clear. It's written on all their things. We are Waukee. They talk about the Waukee way all the time. It's been the driver of this community has been the school district, not the city. Mm-hmm. Not the city. And so I just want to make it very clear on that.
No argument.
we need to have our own identity. The reason why is when the community right next door to us is consistently voted as the best city conducive to business, and we're competing for the same types of businesses, and we don't have a clear identity, a clear vision for where we want to go. I'm sorry, that's a problem.
Well, at the risk of diverting the conversation a little bit, I do want to get to a couple of questions that were sent in from citizens of Waukee. One question has to do with the issue of a proposed Dallas County West Metro Regional Airport. Is that still a live option, do you think? Where do you stand on that particular issue? Mr. Peard.
You know what? I think the council was very clear when they sent a letter over to the airport authority saying that Waukee was not interested in the Dallas County Regional Airport. And thanks for considering us, and thanks for keeping us informed. But we had, and I'll paraphrase, but the council realized we've got bigger things ahead of us that we need to accomplish. That Alice's Road Corridor project is a huge thing, and that's where we should be devoting our money for. It's to help in economic growth and to help spur developments in this town, and to make sure that we're getting recreational facilities. Those are our priorities right now. And so, would the airport be an economic development tool somewhere in this metro area? Absolutely, yeah. I think it's an economic development tool, but not here and not now and not at this time.
Mr. McGee?
I'm glad my opponent Bill has said that the council has sent a clear message. I still didn't hear from him if he opposed the airport. And so
I oppose the airport.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're clear
I
on that.
oppose the airport.
Because one of the prominent members of the airport authority was trying to figure out who to support in this race. And he asked me the question. He was like, I want to know where you stand on the airport, because I'm looking to support someone who's behind this airport. And what I told to him is that, look, I understand how airports can be seen as economic development. I understand that. However, I don't believe that Waukee is the right place or the right time, this is the right time for an airport in this community. I think there's not the locations that are just not prepared for it. I don't think as a city. I think there's a number of other issues that take a higher priority. The airport isn't a priority for us, and to be honest, I don't even understand why sometimes we're so focused even on the sidewalk issues. Why is that a priority? Our message should be economic development, economic development, economic development. Because as more we focus on that, the easier it becomes for us to provide the resources and the amenities that our citizens in this community want.
Different kind of question came in. Should the term of mayor be extended to 4 years? Mr. McGee.
When I first got on the council, that question was asked. And this is the way that I've looked at it, and one of my colleagues on the city council said it eloquently like this. As a council member, we have 4-year terms. And it's hard to do a lot of damage when you're one of 5 people. And so it makes sense to have 4 terms. But when you're the mayor and you're the one who leads this community, not just the flag waver, not just the shake hands person, but you're the person that leads this community, you can do a lot of damage. And so it helps to have a 2-year term. I'm sure at some point Waukee will be in a position where we probably need to consider not only extending our mayor term, but also even maybe going to a ward system to better reach out to our constituents. But I don't think that right now is that time.
Mr. Peard.
I've never agreed with Mr. McGee on that. In fact, after I was elected for my second term, a council person brought up the fact of would the council support increasing the mayor's term to 4 years? And you gave the same answer at that point. The council does not judge whether the mayor is doing a good job or not. The mayor is not accountable to the 5 members of the council. The mayor is accountable to the people. And I'll tell you what, 2 years of serving in this and rerunning, it does a disservice to the people. And if you truly cared about what you say you care about with doing service to the people, then you would understand that a year and a half of my time is spent being mayor, and the other half of the other 6 months is being reelected. And that is taking away the ability for me to, or the mayor, to go and do positive things in this community because he feels like he has to be running, or she has to be running for reelection. So I disagree with your analogy of it's okay for the council to have 4 years, but the mayor should only be limited to 2 because the mayor can do damage. I'm trying to figure out with no vote what kind of damage the mayor can do, because how that would be different than a rogue council person out there out of control is just, I guess it boggles me as why one should be controlled and one can just run around because he's one of 5 and do whatever damage they want to do.
Mr. McGee.
Before I address that question, I'll ask that Mayor Peard not question me nor anybody else's what they care about. To talk about,
I absolutely agree with that.
I'll look at it from 2 standpoints. I've always looked at the mayor and the council almost as an automobile. The council are the wheels of the car. They decide that the car is going to go forward or backwards. The mayor is the steering wheel of the car, and the mayor decides what direction that car is going to go. The mayor also has a veto power. The mayor signs his name to a number of different documents. The mayor goes out and he meets, like he's already mentioned, he meets with community leaders. He meets with people within the community. He meets with people outside of the community. A lot of times the mayor is the first person, the first impression that many people get of that particular community. So to say that the mayor can't do damage, you have to look at that with a clear eye.